First, and we're going to be blessed by a special by Lyndon Carriger, I Give My Life.
This is my prayer to you, thanking you for all you have done, all the things in my life. Because of you I overcome. Lord, I love you so much. All of my praise, it's not enough. Lord, I'll do anything for you. Lord, I belong to you. I give my life to you. This is my prayer to you, thanking you for all you have done, all the things in my life. Because of you I overcome. Lord, I love you so much. All of my praise is not enough. I'll do anything for you. Lord, I belong to you. I give my life to you. I give my life to you, Lord. Use me for what you need. I owe it all to you, Lord. I'm your vessel, Lord, take me. I'll do anything for you. Lord, I belong to you. I give my life to you. I give my life to you, Lord. Use me for what you need. I owe it all to you, Lord. I'm your vessel, Lord, take me. I'll do anything for you. Lord, I belong to you. My service for you. Lord, I want to be used. I owe it all to you. Lord, I belong to you. I give my life to you.
Thank you, Lyndon, for that incredible message and song. I tell you, I wouldn't want to start one day with God first in my life and a daily commitment to Him, because it makes such a difference. We shouldn't just, it's not just saying, Lord, I want you in my life, but it is daily resubmitting our lives to Him.
But you know, the words to that song are incredible because it says, I want to be used by God.
Yes.
And you know, there's so many different ways that we can be used by God.
That's right.
Each of us can be used in a different way.
That's right.
Which is what is so unique and wonderful about it.
That's right.
Yeah.
You know, you can be used in your own special way. We all have some way that God can use us if we're just willing to.
And it's so important that we're doing what God wants us to do. I'd like to, in fact, to share this with you. Go get your Bibles and look up Matthew 7:21-23, and it will tell you the importance. That text alone will change your life. If you really want God to use you, it tells us how important that we are doing what God wants us to do, not what we want to do. We could be out, buying out millions of Bibles and passing them out around the world, but unless it is what God wants us to do, He says it's for nothing. So read Matthew 7:21-23. And get your highlighter out, highlight it, underline it, whatever you need. Put your bookmarker there, because daily, remember, it is about service to Jesus,
That's
how He wants us to
And
to
you
serve
know, we are going to show you one way you can be used by God today.
That's right.
And you know, there's a lot of hurting people out there and a lot of lonely people. I mean, they could be, I mean, they just want someone to reach out to them. And you could be that someone for them.
right.
And we are going to show you a really unique and fun way you can reach out to some of the ladies around you that you can show them your love and God's love. And that is through a Victorian tea.
And
it's a caffeine-free tea. We know
that's true.
A healthy way of doing it.
And I just wanted to enlighten our viewers that it's not just about this isn't a tea just for ladies. When we went to London, every afternoon it's a big thing to have tea, an afternoon tea. And my husband and I, we went to tea. It was wonderful. And some of these little things that we're sharing today were at that tea that we had in London. So it's not just for ladies. Invite the men in your life too.
Well, I just got to tell you that I talked my husband into taking me to formal high tea at this really neat place in Atlanta, Georgia, and he's never taken me since. So it might not be your guys'
My
thing.
husband loved it, and, and the room was full of men.
Well, before the rumors get started, Joel does not. So he says, honey, let me know when you're going to have this tea because I'm going golfing.
Well, you know, the neat thing is whether
right.
you have a small amount of people or whether you have a crowd.
That's right.
It's to get to know each other.
That's
You know,
right.
before you can even share the love of Jesus, you have to know each other. You have to be able to build some sort of relationship and some friendship.
That's
and
right.
that's how God does with us. He deals with us and he talks with us and until we come to where we trust Him. And
That's
so
right.
this is just setting the mood, so to speak, to open up to just share your hearts.
And do you know how we get to know people? By opening up our homes.
That's right.
Invite people into your home. When you invite somebody into your
right.
home, you're saying, I want to get to know you.
That's right.
And you're spending time with them.
And I
That's
care about
different.
you.
And more and more people do not open their homes to and invite people in. I mean, I can't remember the last time I was invited to somebody's home. And, you know, it says so much. And it's giving of yourself.
That's right.
And so this is just one way, and you know, there's just a million
That's
ways
right.
you can open up your home and invite people in. This is just one way that we've come up with just for something kind of special.
And if you say, I don't know how to cook, well, you know what? We have just taken that excuse right away from you.
Right.
These are
Because I don't
easy
know how to
recipes.
cook.
These are
don't
easy
think-
recipes. Mom, she didn't mean it.
She didn't need a mom. She
You
was
did
teasing.
teach her, Mom, so don't take offense, Mom.
And actually, speaking of Mom, I remember that Mom used to have tea parties for us when we were little.
That's
She
right.
had this little tiny miniature set, a china set that she'd had when she was a little girl. and she would make the cutest little sandwiches for us, and she would sit us down, and we would just pretend that we were ladies.
Big ladies.
And we got to dress up in our clothes.
Oh, we got to play dress up.
And
We'd
our
have this,
shoes.
yes, and we just, yes, and how are you today, my dear? Oh, that was lovely.
And don't forget to stick your pinky out
Oh,
there.
yes, and we would practice. So, you know, we actually learned this from Mom. Well, we're going to start with asparagus roll-ups, and these are very easy because for a tea you like something very light, you know, delicate, and these are easy, healthy, and very good. So let me read the recipe for this.
Okay.
You will need 12 slices of whole wheat bread, 6 tablespoons of grapeseed vegetables, 24 spears of asparagus, and some dried parsley, or you can use your favorite dried green herb. And that's it.
That sounds easy enough.
That's it.
Okay.
So you'll want to wash your asparagus, and I wanted to show you, we'll each show them together.
Okay.
Since this isn't my trick, I mean, this is...
Any chef will show you this.
Right. Any chef will show you this. Take some asparagus, and how you decide where to break it, you just go like this, and wherever it snaps, you don't want this in because
That's right.
that's going to be way too tough, so
Want
you
the
just throw it away.
Ah!
And then
She threw that.
you just...
Mom saw that, I know.
Don't tell Mom.
You know, we do a lot of joking about that, but Mom's really going to say something to her about it. And she knows it.
Only I won't get in trouble because she'll say, these are my older sisters, and she'll say, why did you two let her do that? And I'll go, yeah.
Okay, let's get on with it.
Okay, so that's how
Okay.
you, and then you'll want to steam it, and you'll, you can put it in a little bit of water in a saucepan, and just cook it until it's crisp. You don't want it to be really mushy. And then you take your bread and you slice it. And we do save that. You don't want to throw that away.
We don't believe in waste.
And you don't want it real thick, but you don't want it real thin either, about like that. And then, sis, you can cut some more.
Okay.
You'll cut one
like
for
that?
you. Yeah, cut one for you and one for Linda.
And I go in a back and forth sawing motion because I find that if I try to push the knife through, then I'll ruin the slice.
Especially if the bread's fresh.
Right.
But, you know, there are other ways to cut it. Generally, I just kind of go like, no. Okay, since for the sake of time, we're just going to make one. I'm going to trim off the edges, and you'll want to, you know, try and get it straight because you want a square. And you'll go like this. And then save these because these make great croutons. And then take your grapeseed vegetables, and you'll put some on like this.
Did they notice that we don't waste anything, see?
And this grapeseed vegetables is has no dairy products in it at all, and oh, it is such a good
is
flavor.
delicious.
And oh, I love it. And then you take your asparagus, and you can do it this way or this way, but I usually do it this way. And I like to do 2, but these are kind of long, so you might want to trim these and put that in soup. And go like this.
And I noticed you're doing every other one.
Oh, you know what I forgot to do?
What?
Oh, you can't do that.
Right.
I'm giving y'all a Hollywood recipe.
What?
Oh, you're gonna thank me for starting over.
Okay.
Okay? Because
All right.
I bet y'all were wondering why I had this rolling pin out there.
Oh.
You gotta roll this a little bit.
Oh, that's the secret.
I broke down. I was just gonna say, why, I don't know why yours didn't turn out like mine.
She wouldn't, trust me.
Okay, there you go. Now
Okay.
you do your grapeseed. And then you take your asparagus. Where's those 2 spears? Let's just take these.
Okay.
And you roll it up like this, real gently, because it will crack. And then you'll put it on a baking tray,
Right here.
spray it with some non-stick baking spray.
Oh, you actually spray the top of it.
Yeah, spray the top.
Okay.
And then I sprinkle it with a little parsley like that, and then I put it in the oven, and I bake it just until it's brown. You're probably about 5 minutes, no more. And then we'll show you the finished product.
Right there, and isn't that gorgeous?
It's delicious.
That is just beautiful. Well, Linda, you have some lemon parfaits, and I can't wait. That's one of my favorites. Can you read the recipe?
Yes, we'll read the recipe for you. For lemon parfaits, you will need 1 package, and that's a 12-ounce package of Morinu silken tofu, 1 4-ounce package of Morinu lemon cream, 2 tablespoons of maple syrup, 2 tablespoons of water, 1 cup of your favorite granola, and 1 cup of fresh fruit.
Now, when you said Morinu lemon cream, did you mean the Morinu Mates from that's like a pudding
Right,
mix?
it's right here.
Okay, all right.
You can get it in health food stores. I got this actually in a big grocery store chain.
Mm-hmm. Oh, good.
Yeah, so
I've tried that before. I have to admit, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it is, and it's fast and easy. But
She was back there snitching.
I was not.
Not that I would tell.
But I was thinking about it.
okay, for the sake of time, I just went ahead and mixed up the pudding. All you do is put the tofu, Morinu tofu, with the Morinu tofu mate with it, the lemon cream, and your 2 tablespoons of water, your 2 tablespoons of maple syrup in a blender. Just blend it till it's smooth, and it'll come out looking like this right here. This is our...
Just like a pudding consistency.
Just like a pudding consistency. And so then you make your favorite granola.
And you can buy it in the store for those of you that are say, I just don't have time to make granola, even though we think you do. If you don't feel guilty about it. I am all about relieving stress. And so, isn't that right?
Me too. When I need granola, I make a phone call. And I call our sister-in-law, Tammy. Hey, Tammy, I need some granola. I'll give you her number.
And Tammy actually makes really good granola.
Yeah.
So this is just an easy recipe that just, if you say, oh, I don't have time to make dessert. Well, you can mix up this pudding the night before and then put this together just before you serve it.
And you know how presentation is everything?
That's right.
This is beautiful.
It is, and especially, I don't have it today, I just have fresh strawberries, but you can put raspberries, fresh blueberries, you can slice peaches in it, you know, whatever you really want to do.
I think I do a combo.
They actually say we should have blueberries every single day because it's so high in antioxidants. So
yes, it is. It also helps what they're finding with declining motor skills and memory loss.
Boy, we need that.
Huh? What'd you say?
It helps you with memory loss. Okay, we're just going to put a little bit of granola in the bottom of our dish here, and I'm sure some will fall down in the cupboard.
And that means that we get to eat that, right?
Well, I guess if you want. And then we're going to put a little bit of lemon in the middle. I try not to get it on the sides.
Okay.
Just a little bit in there, like that. And then we're going to take our fruit, and we're going to cut it up. Oops, sorry, sis.
I was trying to get it.
And you just cut up some fruit in there. And like I said, it looks so pretty with the blueberries and things like that. But today I just have strawberries. And then you'll put a little bit more granola.
Now, I've actually, this comes in different flavors, this pudding made.
You can do...
I like the vanilla.
I was going to say, I love vanilla.
Yeah, that's my favorite, it's the vanilla.
And then you can put a little bit more of the cream. I did. I was trying not to, and I did it. Okay, and then we're going to put another strawberry in there. Okay, thank you, sis.
Cinda got you covered this time.
I am definitely. I tell you what, you got some of Mom in you.
I think we all do.
Okay,
all right,
got it.
With it. And I notice you're making those nice and bite-sized so that people can just scoop
Okay,
in.
then you just put a scoop on top, like that. And then all you have to do then is just sprinkle just a little bit of this on top, and you pick a pretty strawberry.
That's a pretty one.
That's a pretty one, and just stick it on top. Now, how easy is that? And we have this one and the finished product over there, so you can see how easy that is.
And that is delicious.
That
and you could probably make that up, you know, before your company comes or your family's ready for dinner.
It can be sitting in the refrigerator all made up, actually.
That's right.
But
you
know what,
can
I
do
think
small little cups.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true, too.
I was going to say for a buffet, I like to do this, but we're doing a tea, but I like to let them make their own parfaits and have a bunch of different fruits, and they can layer their own.
That's another option, and they go through and they just make their own. So you can, it's just easy. So what do we have next?
Well, my walnut cranberry scones, and let me read the recipe for you. You're going to need 3/4 cups of whole wheat flour, 1 cup of unbleached flour, 2 tablespoons of sugar, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 cup of soy margarine, 1/2 cup of walnuts, 1/2 cup of dried cranberries, 3/4 cups of soy milk, vanilla flavored, 1/4 cup of frozen apple juice concentrate, and 1/4 teaspoon of soy margarine. And that's it. Now, cranberry walnut scones, I absolutely love anything with cranberries. I love walnuts. But I actually, this is kind of a fancy name for biscuit, wouldn't you think? It's for a scone. It's a little bit denser.
They're good.
And I first had this when we were in London and at tea. And they had them in tiny little ones, so I made both today. But we've gone to tea before.
We had that was the nice. And you know what, Joel, if you're watching, you did enjoy tea when we had it in London. So there.
He did, and it is something that's a really warm and nice time to have with your significant other, whether it's your husband or your You know
what I love about it?
What?
You don't rush.
Exactly. I was just getting ready to say that.
And you don't get real full because it's just tiny bites, and you just, I mean, there's something warm and comforting about tea, and you just kind of
you get to know each other,
and you get to know each other,
communicate and talk and have all that nice conversation. That's what
I really got to know you then. Oh, she's really fun. I really got to know her.
But we had a great time, didn't we?
We're going to take you with us next time.
That's right. Actually, she's been to London.
That's actually right. She has been.
I could tell you some stories about London.
That's okay. Not the taxi story, please. No. Okay, let's go. Let's get started.
Yeah, but Linda, I tell you what, you were so fun to have along. We have a lot of fun at her expense.
I'm just not real good with giving taxi drivers directions, so.
No, and if you drive around long for an hour looking for your restaurant that you're going to.
But I thought it was right over there on the 2nd Street.
Just enjoy the experience, you know?
Okay, what
actually, you know what?
Okay, make these scones so I can enjoy them.
Actually, I got to tell a story on myself, because yesterday, when I was getting ready to come here.
I cannot believe you were going to tell this.
Well, after I said that to Linda, I had to make her feel better. That is not just Linda that gets all messed up sometimes. Yesterday we were driving, I was getting ready to drive here, and I took my husband's vehicle. Now, the last time I shared a story with you when I was in my husband's vehicle, I actually ran out of gas. Remember, because the steering wheel where it is and where I sat, I couldn't see the gas gauge. So I ran out of gas with my parents in the car. It was just a humiliating experience. So now, yesterday, my husband has me take his car to come to 3abn. So on our way out of town, Linda called me on my cell and said, stop at the Kroger there because she needed a couple of things. So I stop at the Kroger near our house, and I go do
get
the items that we need. And when I'm coming out, I have his remote control, and I go back to where the car is, and it will not work. Those remote controls, they don't actually physically open the car door, so I had to keep punching the remote. We keep punching the remote, and it would not work. Finally, I said, I'm going to have to call my husband, and my kids' time assistant, Brenda Abbott, was with me. And so here we are, and the wind is blowing. It is hard out there. We called him up. I said, honey, your remote doesn't work. Can you come and bring me your set of keys? So he drives over there, and he parks, way down at the end of the row. And he keeps walking for me, and he looks at me like this question mark on his face. He goes, honey, he says, what are you doing? I said, what do you mean? I'm waiting to get in the car. I can't get in the car. And he goes, honey, my car's way back here. So, I was like, what? I've been trying to get in the wrong car for 20 minutes, sit outside this car. And it never once dawned on me that it wasn't my car.
I cannot believe she told that.
No, maybe we should get back to the cranberry walnut scone.
My husband really laughed. I don't think I'm going to live that one down for long. So he goes, honey, there's a couple more cars like mine in the parking lot. I tried that one too. Very humbling experience. So sis, you're not the only one.
Thank you.
These are really easy. girls, just dump in. I'm telling you what, I'm going to use
good.
my helpers today. Yep, dump all the dry ingredients in.
Okay, we'll use you for helpers too.
There you go. All the dry ingredients, there it is. Now, sis,
right.
just mix that up with
With a knife?
With a knife.
I think not.
Oh, okay.
I'm mixing nothing up with no knife.
All right. And just whip all that together. See that, how easy that is?
All right, there you go.
Okay.
Now what?
Now,
Make a well?
no, now we're just going to put this soy margarine in, and I'm just going to cut it in with a knife. You want to take the knife now? Now, see, I'm going to get that knife on there.
She really wants the
that in.
knife.
You can
See,
have that.
I would mash it with a spoon.
Well, see,
Well,
that's a
yeah,
different
but
technique.
That's the beauty of learning
I've been doing this
different
since I was a
recipes.
little girl, so that's what I learned, see? I like that knife.
Mm-hmm.
I do. Just cut it all up in there. And it's just like you would if you were making biscuits, you know, and if you use a biscuit, what do you call a pastry blender or whatever those things are? I always just use a knife for pie crust too, but it'd be the same kind of technique. And you just cut it in, and you're making those soy margarine pieces about the size of little small peas. Boy, you're doing good. Okay, now that we got that in there. Okay, now we're going to put the walnuts. Just put the cranberries in. And now,
that's pretty.
And now put that in there together.
I love dried cranberries.
Oh, I put them on salads.
My husband makes the best oatmeal in the mornings. And every Sabbath morning, he makes me oatmeal. And he puts in oatmeal and grain cereal, and he puts dried cranberries and dried blueberries in it.
Okay, now here we put the maple syrup and what was that in?
Maple syrup.
No, that was apple juice.
Apple juice concentrate. Keep me straight here.
Apple
now,
juice concentrate.
Pour this in all at once. And now I want to show you. This is the important thing. You don't want to overmix this. It's just like if you do biscuits. You do a very tough biscuit if you over. So you just really want to mix it enough to where all the flour is moistened. And if it's too dry, add a little bit more of the soy milk. Okay, and if you like it a little bit sweeter, add a little bit more of the apple juice concentrate. And so now I'm just pushing this together till it holds together.
And if you like cranberries, add a little bit more cranberries.
And I'm just going to take a little bit of this and see how I just push this together. It's still a little bit dry, but not too dry. It'll hold together, and that's how you know. And then I'm just going to pat it down with my fingers. And if I had a little flour here, which I don't, I would have put some on there.
I'll give you some.
You give me some flour. All that flour that came out of the bowl. And you don't have to make this too. Now these are some mini ones, and you don't make them too flat, and just because you want them to rise up. And then I chose a dark pan to bake on. I do not like the way of those light baking sheets bake, so I like the dark old used ones. And in fact, if I get a new one, I season it in the oven for quite a bit before I'll actually use it. And after you've done that, look at how nice those look. And you can do this, or you can roll it out, and you can just cut it into triangles, which is what I did for what I'm going to show you today. Then what you're going to do is you're going to just take a pastry brush, which I don't have here today, so you just take a pastry brush and a little knife. Or a knife, that works, see that? And you're just going to take a little of the melted margarine and put on the top, and you're going to bake this. And sis, we bake it, what, 375, 400 degree oven?
I'll tell you. 400 degree oven for 10 minutes.
There you go. You bake it for that.
Until golden.
Until golden and nice. And they will rise up very nice. And so you can either do them in the triangles, or you can do them with the pastry cutter like that.
And they're real flaky and nice.
That's right. And they look like this. You see I did some big ones, and I did some actually tiny little ones, so that the little ones are kind of nice for the Victorian tea. And that's all there is to it. And next, what are we making?
Sister Linda, you're going to make some ribbon, those ribbon sandwiches.
Would you read it for us?
Oh, want me to read the recipe?
Yes.
Okay, you will need 5 cups of garbanzo beans drained, 1 lemon, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 2 teaspoons of seasoned salt, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, 1/4 cup of water, cold, 2 tablespoons of sesame tahini, 1 loaf of dark bread, 1 loaf of white wheat bread, and soy margarine as needed.
This is a really fun thing to make. I love it. I made it for the pastors' wives in Wisconsin when I did a Victorian meal for them. In fact, Cinda, I borrowed some of your dresses that Cinda has. She has some really neat Victorian dresses.
I collect old dresses and old sets of china.
And she was gracious and enough to loan them to me. And so I had myself and my helpers, we actually served the ladies. And we made little mini sandwich loaves. We're showing you ribbon ones today. But picture that this would be a mini loaf of bread, although it isn't, but just use your imagination.
Okay. I can do
It's little to me.
And we would slice it, and I'll have Brenda go ahead and get started, but you would slice it the long way, and we took those little mini loaves and sliced it the long way, and then we did several different fillings in it, and then we covered it with veggie cream cheese and veganaise dressing. You just kind of mix it together and covered the top of it, like frosted it all over. And then we decorated with some frilly lettuce and little grape tomatoes around each. We made this as individual. This was their
that
main
sounds good.
dinner.
Yes.
And so then we came up and gave it to them, and we served. Actually, we did those pretty dresses with bare feet. You know, felt better.
No, that's not.
So just use your imagination.
Worked for me.
And they looked so elegant. And when we gave it to the ladies, it was so neat to watch them because they all went, oh, you know, and so it was
love
just,
those O's.
yeah, I do too. So it was just a really neat idea. We're also now going to show you how to make ribbon sandwiches. So
Okay.
But you know what I always say is when you present, and I like to do special stuff for my family, not just for when I have guests.
Exactly.
When you take the time, and all the time, I mean, a lot of the time it doesn't take much time, but if you take just a little bit of effort and make something look really nice, oh, it just makes you think of how special you feel when somebody
That's
does
right.
that for you.
That's right.
And it just makes you feel so special.
And you know, you really could look at it this way. You say, well, I don't have any time. Well, cut out maybe a couple of your TV shows that you really like to do, and take
Watch,
that you like to watch, and take
Not the cooking
that.
programs, though.
Yeah, not the cooking programs. And cut that out and spend the time doing something special for your family, and you'll feel better yourself. You
That's
know,
right.
I
That's
love
right.
it when I make my family happy.
Right, and their family can come in, they'll go, what? Are you having company? And they'll go, no, this is for you. You're special. We love you, you know, so it's
Right.
That's nice. Okay, so we show them how to do the bread.
Okay.
Here's, you want an uncut loaf of bread, and you're just going to take a very sharp knife with a serrated edge, and you're going to do just a really trim piece down the back side.
Like a sawing effect, right? Because you don't
just
want to
sawing.
push.
Don't push on it, that's right. And so back and forth, and just and try to get it as straight as you can.
And the crumbs and stuff you can do. You can even make dressing
Here,
with.
this goes in here. Okay, and now we're going to go over and we're going to take another, and this is about a ½ inch, and you want to try to get them all the same, and I'm going to try. And then once you start to cut, it might flop over. Put your finger right here, and that kind of stops that. And just keep on going down and just sawing away like you would be. I never saw the log, but I'm guessing that's what you do, right?
Last night you were sawing them.
That's not. Now you tell the truth, sister. Okay, so now I'll keep sawing over here while.
Well, then cut me one of those.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, let me give you a couple of these. Let me get
Okay.
2 of these. So we have to have 2 of these down here.
You know, I'm thinking maybe we ought to build a house together.
There you
Because
go.
she's so good at this. You could saw the wood.
I'll tell you what, sis. You
Okay, there
guys
you
are
go.
terrific decorators.
But now
so
let me get you
It
a-
would look like a good house.
Now we have a light and a dark bread. So, and you need a light color and a dark bread for
And you
this.
could use rye bread, pumpernickel bread, too, right?
Oh, exactly.
That's right.
You just need it to be an uncut loaf. Okay? So now, sis, I'll give you your other loaf here.
All right. And while she's doing that, I'm going to show you here. We're just going to take some soy margarine and put it on the whole wheat bread. So we're just going to put that all over. And really, you do need this. Just use a little bit because it won't stick together very well if you don't. So.
And also your
And
bread gets soggy.
Yeah.
And that
Okay.
helps your bread from getting soggy.
Okay. Now you can put your filling on it, and before I do this, I do want to tell you that I went ahead and made the hummus. All I did is I took garbanzos, And they're those little round brown beans.
Also, chickpeas.
Exactly, chickpeas. And I put it in my food processor with about half the amount of water, and then I whizzed it around until it was pretty smooth, and I added the rest of the water. Then I just added all the rest of the ingredients that we gave you. The lemon juice and the seasonings.
Boy, I tell you, this is hard work. Sorry.
And I whipped it together till it was this consistency. So this has fresh lemon juice in it. It has your garlic in it. It's really very good, high in protein. Legumes are high in protein.
They're very good.
And they're very good for you. So we're going to take some of this and this hummus, and we're going to put it on the bread here. Spread it all around. And sis, you can be putting some margarine on this one. I don't want you to feel left out over here.
Oh, you give her a good job.
That's right. It's all about working together. And I've been to Cinda's house before when her guests have arrived. And I'm sure Corey, your friend Corey, who came along to help, and is it Rosalie? Rosalie, they will tell you. They step into Cinda's kitchen and they just go right to work. I mean, and they're wonderful too.
All Cinda's friends know even where her dishes go, because she has friends that not only stay to eat and enjoy the food, and they come early and help prepare the food, they help clean up.
Oh, I had a big, I'm having parties all the time, and I had a big party, and Rosalie Peters and her husband Dan, and Rosalie actually came with me on this trip to help us with our food prep. Yeah, food prep for the show. Well, Rosalie and her husband Dan stayed until 2 in the morning and helped Joel and I do dishes. Oh, I mean, now that's a friend.
That's a friend. It doesn't get better than that.
Yeah, my friends Don and Mary Ross stayed with me when I did a wedding till like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. They never left. I tell you, I just, what would we do without God, with the precious friends God gave us?
That's right.
Well, the next thing you do is we're gonna.
Do you want me to spread this with margarine?
Yes, and for the sake, just on one side. Otherwise, we'll do it on both sides, and then we'll show you real quick how to put it together. This can be made up ahead of time too.
Okay.
Like how long ahead of time?
I would say.
No more than a day?
No.
Yeah, a day.
Overnight?
Yeah, overnight. You can make them the night before, so then you can have relax.
So like for my, for my meal in a month, probably not.
Right. And notice I put 2 darks and then a light in the middle.
Here, you want this?
Yeah, I want this. And then we're going to go and cut this off. And this is stuff that you can still use and eat.
But I'm going to take it away. Oh, she's going to eat it.
Oh. Well, is it good?
You can sample. Is it good?
That's really good. I'm going to try this. Isn't that pretty?
Oops. Okay.
Well, I'm just going to take off the sides.
Oh,
here.
that's a nice big one for me.
And again, you notice she's using that sawing motion back and forth, because if you push, all your stuffing's going to come out.
And that wouldn't be very good.
No, that's not
Okay,
good.
now you just go like this. And that's it. That's all there is to it. And we have the finished product over there that you can look at.
I should probably taste the finished product, don't you think?
Those are absolutely delicious. Well, what are we fixing next?
I don't know, but I'm going to finish this.
I think we're fixing your pinwheel sandwiches.
Okay, let me read the recipe for you. For the pinwheel tea sandwiches, you will need 1 12.3-ounce package of Morning tofu, extra firm, 3 teaspoons of Bill's Best chickenish seasoning, 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric, 1/3 cup of sweet pickle relish, 1/4 cup of veggies, and then salt to taste. And that's all you need. That's so easy. So sis, I'm going to ask you if you would get started. Maybe before I do, I just want to show you what chickenish seasoning is, because a lot of people don't know what that is. It's a imitation chicken seasoning. It's by Bill's Best. And for this recipe, I think it just really makes a big difference to have that particular seasoning. But if you don't, you can use another imitation chicken style seasoning. So sis, we're going to start by putting our tofu in there. And this is just your Morning tofu. And,
does it matter if you use firm or?
Actually, we got to drain that. Can you drain that first?
Sure.
While she's draining that, I didn't want to ruin it for you.
If this happens to you, here's what you do. We really planned it this way so that we could show you, so.
Don't be telling stories, sis.
I'm helping you out.
Here we go. So you don't you want to drain it first. You don't want any of that. And there's not a lot of liquid comes in there,
No,
but there's
it's
enough.
just a little.
But that little is enough to ruin your recipe. So you do want to change that. And then we're going to just. You won't even have to worry about mashing it up first because it doesn't really matter. I'm going to just sprinkle the turmeric on, and what this does, it gives it that nice yellow golden flavor. Color. And then we're just going to put your relish in there. Basically, you're dumping everything in the bowl. This is the chicken
And you can
seasoning.
get your sweet relish in any health food store that's made with lemon juice.
That's right. And then just mix all that up. And just
Do you want it in little pieces?
Yep,
or
and this is salt to taste. So I just do like this.
do you want it in little pieces or what?
Yep, it should be like, this is to resemble egg salad. So if you have a traditional egg salad, you want it to look like that. So you don't want it to be smooth and fine. You want it to be, somewhat chunky. And just mix it up really good, sis, just like that. While you're mixing now, she's going to just mix away over there. I want to show you, now put your veggies in there first. And while she's mixing all that veggies in, and because that's all it is. That is so easy. It's those ingredients. Whip it all up in there together. You are done. Just don't get it very fine. Okay, so now while she's doing that, I want to show you about this bread. We're going to cut this bread. And very similar to what we did over there for Linda's recipe for the ribbon sandwiches. And yes, is there something we can put the breadcrumbs in?
Back here on the counter.
Okay, what we're going to do is I'm making these a little bit thinner though. Okay, so these are just, and this is a little bit trickier because anytime you're going a little bit thinner, but if you don't, you're going to have trouble rolling them. So you want to have these thinner, okay? And I'm just going to cut a couple of them here, and then because I just need a couple to demonstrate for you. And sis, maybe if you could find us a plate that I could put these finished one on. And
I can do that.
Okay, I was counting on you. Okay, so nice and straight. See how I'm holding it right here with my finger, and then look how nice and thin that is. Now, I imagine, Cindy, I saw that trick you did with the asparagus roll-ups with rolling it. If you have trouble, I'm sure you can do that too. But we're just going to trim off the edges like this, and all the crust.
And again, you can use that for croutons, but you can also use it when you make entrees or whatever.
Or breadcrumbs.
And I like it for stuffing.
Yes.
For a stuffing mix, okay? So now I need, I need a
knife?
I need a knife.
I can get that.
We're just going to spread just a little bit of the soy margarine. Thank you.
You're
Boy, I
welcome.
tell you what. Now, I suggest to do this recipe, you have 2 sisters. That's my recommendation. I tell you what, after losing my car in the parking lot, I'm not trusting my judgment here. Okay.
Or your kids.
There we go. Okay, yep, kids in the kitchen is awesome. Now, you see, look, I wanted to show you this. Doesn't that look like just any regular egg salad? And if you like a little more relish and a little bit sweeter, put more in. It's not going to hurt anything. And if you don't like it at all, leave it out. That's fine too. Okay, so now we're just going to spread that on there like that, and just, don't be too exact. Like I say, we don't want stress.
But you don't want to get it real thick either, because then you're not going to be able to roll it.
Exactly. I might have already done that, sis. So if it is, it'll squish out.
This could be interesting. You may want to pay close attention.
Okay, this is what we're going to do. So we're going to just start here, and we're going to roll. And we're going to roll gently because this is a nice homemade bread. It's not going to be as soft and light and airy as a bread you would get in the store.
Unless you just bake it.
But you're kind of babying it as you go
along.
along.
See how I baby it very gently, because otherwise you'll have a little bit of cracking. And then you're going to have it like this. Then you're just very careful sawing motion, just like that. Very careful. Don't push. And then you're going to...
I really like being on this end. I'm going to stay over here. It's really good.
Well, there you go. Doesn't that taste like egg salad?
It's very good.
And then you're just going to keep cutting it like this, and you put it. Now this here was that the bread's a little bit dry. If that happens to you, spray it with just a little bit of Pam. You can do that, and it will just soften it just enough. You make those sawing motions like that, and then put it on your platter.
And if you can't wait, you just go like this. Like if, you got a bigger appetite than that.
All right, she's eating it. What can I say?
That's good.
Isn't that good? Well, don't act so surprised. I actually kind of like it like this, too. Well, you too can make it just a whole sandwich. But I'd like to show you what we made for our tea party today. And there it is, right there. And I've just decorated it with just a little bit of roasted red pepper that I cut in slivers, and just a pinch of fresh parsley on each one. And you see how pretty that makes for your tea party?
That's beautiful. You know what? We should take these, and I will show you how to set a table, and we'll have the table as pretty as the food.
Okay. Well, first, we're going to show you how you can get each of our cookbooks. We have 2 cookbooks out. We'd like to show you how you can get one for yourself, and we'll meet you back at the table.
If you've enjoyed the recipes you've seen today and would like to purchase your own copy of their new cookbook, Cooking for Two with the Micheff Sisters, you can do so by writing to 3ABN, Post Office Box 220, West Frankfort, Illinois 62896. That's 3ABN, Post Office Box 220, West Frankfort, Illinois 62896. You can call 618-627-4651. That's 618-627-4651. Or visit micheffsisters.com and order online. That's micheffsisters.com.
Hello, I'm Molly Steenson, and I hope you're enjoying our free monthly magazine, 3ABN World. In a recent survey, you told us what you liked and what you wanted to see more of, and we listened. Our cover story each month features one of our program hosts or leaders. We've added more in-depth background stories on their early years and life-changing experiences. Through each of them, you'll discover how the Lord has shaped them and brought them new understanding and faith. Each month, we feature well-written stories on our religious roots in a column entitled Our Heritage. Full of fascinating and meticulously researched stories, the past comes to life as you read how America's famous experiment in religious freedom came about and how the faith of our fathers continues today. Each month, we bring you healthy advice from Dr. Agatha Thrash on how to care for your body. Her special emphasis on prevention and her practical advice on a large variety of topics are combined with her simple home remedies. Hal Steenson's Did You Know column recounts the early miracles that brought 3ABN into existence, and each edition features a special testimony from someone who has come to the Lord by watching or listening to 3ABN's networks. You'll find incredible letters, delicious vegetarian recipes, inspiring devotionals and Bible studies, and even a section for children called a Kids Corner each month. And of course, every issue contains monthly listings for our television and radio networks. As you can see, each month we pack your 3ABN World full of the good stuff, and we want each of you to get one. That's why we make our subscriptions free, absolutely free to anyone who would like it. To order your monthly subscription, just visit us online and click on the World Magazine link at the bottom of the page. You can also subscribe by calling us at 618-627-4651 during regular business hours, or just send us a letter to the address we'll give you in a moment. 3ABN World Magazine is a great way to stay in touch with what the Lord is doing through your faithful prayers and continued financial support. You make it possible for us to continue this media ministry that reaches around the world with the good news of Jesus soon coming and the 3 angels' messages of Revelation 14. If the Holy Spirit impresses you to support this growing ministry, please send your tax-deductible love gifts to 3ABN, Post Office Box 220, West Frankfort, Illinois 62896. God bless you.
When I'm decorating a table like this, I love to use a lot of fresh flowers, and I also like to use different place settings. As you guys know, I collect different plates, and I always collect.
Let's take our napkins off so we can show you
see
how
the different ones.
beautiful.
I always collect a dinner plate with a cup and saucer to match, and then each person gets their own place setting, and so they're all different, which I think really adds to the table.
Because
the look
we're
of the
all
table.
different as people
That's
too.
right.
It's just
and it's
beautiful.
inexpensive as well because you can go to your favorite, go to a yard sale or garage
I love
sale,
garage
and you
selling.
can find some of the best deals for just
right.
10 cents a plate. I mean, it's amazing. For
Right.
10 cents a plate, you can find, seriously, I found that before. And beautiful antique china. It's gorgeous and hardly nothing. Most people don't want unless there's a whole set. Well, guess what?
Right.
We don't want a whole set.
We don't want a whole set. We just want one.
right.
I also like to use different serving plates. So you'll notice later when we show you the all our all our food that we've cooked for today. Each one's on a different place serving platter,
that's
and I
exactly
love
right.
the way that looks.
That's right.
But like I said, I love to use a lot of fresh flowers. Now we've only decorated like half the table for you today, but when you're decorating a full table, here's some nosegays, and you can do smaller ones if you want. But I love to do nosegays.
What did you call nosegays?
little nose? See?
Oh, okay, I got it.
Right in your nose.
Okay, I just wondered.
If you want, and which I didn't show today, but you can lay these down the center of your table, and this can be something that each one of your guests can take home.
Take-home gift.
Which is really nice. Or you could also put them all in a big vase together, and then as they leave, they pull out one of these and they have their own.
And they can be fresh flowers. That way. They're beautiful.
And that's really nice. And
one thing I knew about you too is you don't use paper napkins.
No, I love regular napkins. And today we're going to show you there's so many different ways that you can fold a napkin.
That's right.
We're going to show you each going to show you a different way. So sis, you show them one way.
This one is really easy. It just lays across the plate, and you're going to take your napkin, and you're just going to make a triangle out of it, like this, and then you're going to take it again and fold it halfway. Take this one and fold it halfway. Then take the two halves and flip it over, like this. Lay it on your plate and open up like this. And then you just can put your flowers right in there, like that. Squish it around there. And you can even have another napkin kind of laying behind it.
There you
Oh,
go.
that's
In
pretty.
case you're extra messy,
That's really
right.
pretty. I'm going to do something that, another really simple way. I've taken two napkins. I have a dusty rose one on one side and a white one on the other, and I'll just put my hand up into the middle of it and grab the point, run my hand down like this, and then I'll lay it down like this. And then also you can either put a napkin ring or, like I said, I love the flowers, and just wrap some flowers around it like that. And look how pretty.
And then I've got two different napkins in case you're extra messy, or you don't have to be extra messy to use it.
It's just pretty.
That's just pretty. Two different colors. And then I have just folded them each in half, laid them on top of each other, and now I'm just going to fan them back and forth, just like this. One right after the other, just like if you were folding a fan, and back and forth. And I'll just do that real quickly here.
You are
And,
fast.
Well, you see how easy that is? And then we're going to, see how pretty how it fans out in your plate? Take your napkin ring, tuck it around, and hold it placed like this. Now you can do a couple things. You can leave it like this, like a fan, or because you have two colors, you can pull this up and reveal the pretty color underneath and make it look, very fancy.
Isn't that
See
pretty?
that? Look at that, and look how easy
Now,
that is.
it does work better if you starch your napkins a little,
That's true.
some. But I
you
had
can't-
20 kids at my house this weekend because David and Katie go to Southern, and just about every weekend they'll bring 20 kids up for the weekend. So I was cooking for 20 kids this weekend, so I wasn't starching any napkins.
I understand completely. But Cindy does that almost every weekend, I have to tell you. She does.
Oh, and I dearly love it. They're so fun. They're so fun. I always like to have unique candles. Well, I've taken regular teacups. These are little tiny teacups, and you can use these teacups size too, and put a candle in them. And these are your candles, and you can place them along your table. And then I love to have take-home gifts. You all know that. And these are 2 different types of teacups. And I took and put just some herbal tea bags in them, put some netting around it and a ribbon, and